leave a message or a question in the comment section. All right, we have two viewers, so we can start with that. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. I really appreciate the effort you have brought in coming here today. And with me, I have Temitayo and Cynthia. And Temitayo is going to look through a few CVs, though we had quite a lot, but we're just going to select the ones we can and should also look through people's LinkedIn. Okay. So this is, let me pass it on to Temitayo to introduce herself. And after that, I'll pass it on to Cynthia. Thank you.
Hi, Weno. It's nice to be here again. My name is Temi Tayo, but my friends call me Temi. I'm based in the US. Prior to coming to the US, I lived in Germany for about 5 years. And while I was in Germany, I worked as a talent sourcer and a recruiter, especially for early talent. And some of my key achievements when I was on this role was I was able to recruit and source people from Nigeria. About 3 or 4 Nigerians came from Nigeria while I was a talent sourcer. And I got so interested in this particular part of HR because it gives me an opportunity to connect to immigrants on how to improve their CV, how to land a job in Germany. And I'm so happy to be here to share the platform with Wendoset today. Hi, Cynthia. Happy to see you too.
Thank you, Temitayo.
Hi. So, Winnie, would you like me to go ahead? You're mute, so we can't. Okay, okay. All right.
Cynthia, go
Sorry,
ahead. Thank you.
sorry about that. So, I'm Cynthia. I have been in Germany for a few years now. Now going on year 6, actually. I came as a student and now I work full time as a data analyst. I hope I can bring some useful insight into how I switched first of all to become to working into this role of being a data analyst and the process of applying for the jobs and yeah, I think it's going to be interesting tonight to talk about that. Back to you, Annie.
All right. Thank you. So let's go right into it. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so Temitayo, I pass it on to you. If you want me to move over, you just let me know and I'll move over. So we've already done our introduction, Temitayo, Cynthia, and I. And once again, thank you everyone for being here. So, what we're going to talk about today is how to choose your career path in Germany, CV, the do's and don'ts, optimizing your LinkedIn for the German market, and interviews, how to scale through interviews. So, Temitayo, I pass it on to you to continue.
Thank you, Wenose. Hi everyone again. So when it comes to Germany, how to choose your career path in Germany. For me, I will want to talk about two categories of people, immigrants trying to get a job in the German market. The first category is people who already have skills. You are coming into Germany with skills, you are already experienced in your own country. Maybe you have 5 years, 3 years, any number of years of experience. Very good. If you want to continue in your career path, you already have an existing career path. That is a very good one. So, what you need to do for you to break into the German market, firstly, you need to identify the gap. Where am I currently? What does the market need? And how do I identify this? You need to go on job platforms. I mean, where you can find jobs like LinkedIn, Indeed, search for the kind of roles you are looking for. And with that, you'll be able to identify the gaps. For example, I'm a software developer. In my home country, I've learned Java. But when I search through the job in Germany, I can see um I can't remember any of this software again. Maybe Python is highly demanded. Maybe in 5 or 10 jobs I have searched, I'm seeing Python coming, but I know Java. Then what I need to do now is upskill, learn this Java, learn Python, and with that I can put that on my CV and make it look like I have been using Python from my home country. You don't need to tell them now that, oh, I just learned Python. That is not important. You have to come into the market as a professional, even if you just learned the skill. Remember, you already have skills. You are not coming into the market as a new entrant. So that's it for people who already have transferable skills. So another
Question,
cat.
actually.
Okay, question. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question about that. So, just for expansion's sake, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
person would have experience in your case in Java, and
Mm-hmm.
then you see Python is in high demand, so you learn Python. What's a
Yeah.
good way that you can showcase this, like with projects, or because if you go, and you're at the interview and you can write all these things down, of course,
Yeah. Okay.
but what's a good way to catch their attention? Because a lot of people write things down. To
Yeah.
catch their attention in the interview, like, or even before the interview, would you say they should do projects in Python, for example,
Of
or
course.
what's just something like this? Yeah.
Of
Sorry.
Yes.
course.
In the process of learning a new software, definitely you should have done some projects. And these are the projects you bring into the interview. And for me, remember, you are not a JJC in this field. The only difference is just your software gap or your skill gap. And for me, I believe it should be software gap, because it's just like German and English. If you know Danke in German, it's very easy for you to learn it in, to know what thank you means in Russia. So it's just for you to say, oh, when I was in Germany, this is what I did with Python. Or when I was in Nigeria, this is what you actually did that project, but in Nigeria or any other country, you only used Java. So now, when you are coming into the market, you will tell them that while I was in this country, while I was on this job, I used Python. So name those projects you executed in Java, and tell them now you did it in Python. I don't have a problem with that. So far, you can defend it. When I said, you understand what I'm trying to say. So, but if you are now coming in as a new entrant, I just graduated from uni, I don't have experience. Where do I get experience? I am in Germany. What do I do? Nobody will hire somebody with zero experience. Even for internship in Germany, we still expect you to come with something. Nobody will say, oh, because you're a fresh graduate, then I'll just give you my job. So you still have to portray yourself as a professional. Nobody will give you a job as aspiring data analyst. There's no word like aspiring. You are a data analyst. So you are a data analyst. So how do you show to me as a recruiter that you are a data analyst? Show me your projects. You have to show your projects. You have to show, maybe in school you did some courses related to data. You have to highlight that in your CV.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yes.
Yes, you have to highlight that in your CV. And maybe you have volunteered in the past. You also have to highlight that in your CV. So, and one thing I'm so sorry to say is, whether in Germany or in Nigeria, what I've discovered, even in the Western world, for new entrants, I will advise you, as you are studying, as you are going to school, pick a skill. Nobody will give you a job because you have a 1.0. Even for internships, nobody will give you a job because you are the best student in your class. Because what an internship means now in the market is, we have a problem. We are bringing you in to solve it. Yes, you are an intern, but we still want you to add value to our organization. And the market is so saturated now that we have people coming in looking for internship with 3 or 4 years of experience from back from their home country. So you, as a new entrant, you can't afford to just come and say, hey, I don't know anything, just take me, I'm in the uni. No. So that is how to choose your career path in Germany. And don't be everywhere. Just make up your mind, this is the path, this is the niche I want to focus on it. Look at your skill gap and try as much as possible to fill your skill gap, and look for your experience. Your experience is everywhere. Your experience can be your day-to-day activities. Your experience can be in your religious organization. Maybe you want to look for a job of admin role, and you have been working in your church as, let's say, okay, you are looking for a job of HR, and you have been working in your church as an usher, you have been working with organizing team. You already have experience one way or the other. You have been working in church as there's a team that is responsible for content making. That's experience. So you don't come into the market with nothing. You must always come with something.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it for me.
Okay. So what we're going to do in this part is because a few people sent us their CV, and I
Mhm.
know that you haven't seen most of the CV. So what will happen is after you talk, I don't know, should we talk about the do's and don'ts, or should we work on the CV and then when you're looking at the CV, you talk about the do's and don'ts?
Do you think we should go for a real life scenario? I think that would be better. With that, we'll be able to pick out more do's and don'ts when we see a CV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we should do then. Okay. So yeah, we are in
And I also
Germany.
have a suggestion. If you have any question in the comment section, I think you can always interrupt me. And
Yeah, I'm watching. So if there's any question,
Mhm.
I'll let you know at the end so that we can answer the questions.
Okay,
So please, I don't know if you send CVs, but what I'm doing is because we're in Germany, we have to be careful with data privacy.
of
So I'm
course.
not going to show your names. I could show your I'm sorry, I'm not going to show your address and your phone number, but I could just
Can
cut
you
it and
move?
start sharing
I
from your
can see the
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Please, can you move it a little bit up?
Okay.
Okay, good.
So I don't know, is it very clear? Should I expand it for you?
Yes, this is good. I
Okay.
can see. Okay. So this person wants to impact focused senior products manager with over 7 years of experience delivering scalable, okay, digital solutions in fintech, real estate. Okay, that drive revenue and adoption. Okay. Um, Okay, so the professional summary, let's start with that. I think your professional summary should just be 4 to 5 lines. It for this one, it's okay, and it should just give a career summary. You don't need to go into details. For me, I would say just try to, for example, this person has listed all the industry he or she has worked. I think for me, it's just a summary of your achievement than just because remember, a recruiter has less than 1 minute on your CV for each role we are recruiting for. Because of how the market is, a recruiter can have up to 100 CVs. So imagine if I want to read every CV in details, then and remember, I'm not just recruiting for one roles. Part time, I may have like let's say minimum of 5 roles that I'm recruiting for. So I don't have the time to read every information on your CV, but your professional summary must be catchy. It must be something that will catch my attention. So, for example, I've not really seen for me, I've not really seen something that caught my attention with this summary, professional summary. I want to see more of what you've achieved in summary as your professional summary. Then what I like about this CV is the fact that this person listed the skills, the key skills before the professional experience.
Yeah.
For example, as a recruiter, I'm reviewing this CV for my hiring manager. As soon as I see the skills we are looking for, in the first page, yeah, I just like the way this person did it, I'm more interested in this CV and I want to read more. But if you put your skills at the end of the CV or page 2, before I get to page 2, I'm already tired. I'm not
Mhm.
interested in reading. So I think this person has done a great job with this.
Okay, I find that really interesting because that's a mistake that I've often made in the past, actually. I remember doing exactly what you said, putting the skills at the end because I didn't think about it. So it's nice to hear from an HR expert's
Yeah.
perspective. That's good to know. Yeah.
Because
And the person also has a section for achievements, which is
yeah,
okay.
this is a very good one. This is a very good one. I love how then leadership. Okay, now this is it. This leadership experience,
Should be up.
it should be part of your experience. Why are you not okay? Drove ideation section for product development, blah blah blah. Why are you not having it as part of your experience? What makes you think that I will read up to this stage, that I will see this?
Yeah.
These are the highlight of your CV. And one thing I like about this CV is this person loves metrics. You have to quantify your achievement. You can't just tell me led a team of 5. What did you achieve when you led a team of 5? We reduced process time by 20%. That's what I want to see. And what tool did you use in achieving this? Led a team of 5 using this automation tool, and we're able to achieve this. So I love the fact that this person is using metrics, but I will advise this person, can you please move this leadership experience, add it to your experience? There's nothing like leadership experience.
Okay.
You are,
So
because we already see you are a senior, so add it to your experience.
so the feedback you have for this person is one, to work on the professional
Professional
summary,
summary,
and then
yes.
secondly is to find a way to include
The
this
leadership
to.
experience,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
All
Just a
right.
general question before moving on
Mhm.
from this CV. I see that the CV is 2 pages long. For the German market, in the time that you were working in Germany, would you say that's okay, or just what was the rule for you guys? Was 1 page the standard? Was it two?
I think
Senior role.
for, let me say, early careers, junior role, maybe mid senior 2 pages, but senior, much is expected from you. And at that time, I mean, for a senior role, you are talking of over 5 years of experience. So I would not say you should downplay your experience because you want to make it 2 pages. But if you are making it 3 pages now, then it should be meaningful 3 pages. You cannot be applying for senior role and I should be seeing on your CV 10 years ago you worked as a cafe assistant. So because you want to make it look like, oh, my CV is bulky, then you are putting a role of cafe assistant 10 years ago. No. So you should, and I think that's another problem we have as immigrants, because we want to make our CV look bulky and everything. We tend to add irrelevant experience to our CV.
Maybe.
Yes, especially for early entrants, for career starters. I tell you, no experience is a waste, but it depends on how you package the experience. For example, you've worked as a cafe assistant and now you are looking for HR. You are looking for HR HR role, junior role. You can write admin, you can write customer care, customer care assistant. A cafe assistant was assisting customer, right?
Yeah.
So you can write customer care assistant, then you look at the job you are trying to apply for, then you bring that job description into what you have done. You don't need to write served templates of food. You understand? You don't need to write processed 10 tickets per day. Bring it to that role. You have transferable skills.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
But for a
So
senior, much is expected from you.
okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for the first one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. The
Okay.
truth of the matter is most of the
I saw
CVs that
something
came
here.
were
When
all
I say
okay.
wait, skills highlights. See all these excellent written and spoken English for tech jobs. It's not a skill. I don't. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You wrote your CV in English. I know you can speak English. Why are you highlighting it in the CV again that you have excellent and spoken English with the ability to communicate across? For you to write the CV, that means you can communicate. So you've wasted this one bullet point. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Mhm.
Customer oriented, approachable. If you are not looking for anything that has to do with customer role, I'm not seeing a need for it. Because when you are looking for tech job, we are focusing more on the technical skills. So when you come to the interview now, I'm testing your soft skills as well as your technical skills. But before I can call you for an interview, I must have seen that you have those technical skills. So client engagement, I'm not interested. Anybody can write client engagement, but when you come to the interview and I speak with you, from the scenario questions, I know if you can engage a client. Proficiency in Microsoft Office. I can see already you can use Microsoft Office for you to have created the CV. But I want to know, for example, I want to know which in Microsoft Office we have a lot of tools. We have Power Automate, we have MS Forms, we have, do you understand? There are more sophisticated tools we have in MS Office.
So Word, Excel, and PowerPoint no reach.
It's just general, anybody can write that. If
Okay.
you have worked in a corporate environment, I expect you to know how to use Outlook. So
Mhm.
it's not a big deal. I don't expect it on your CV.
Okay.
Yeah, only if you are looking for maybe content manager and other related
Administrative.
yes, then you can put PowerPoint because you'll be creating content. Then I can expect PowerPoint. If you are looking for HR role or maybe any other role that has to do with numbers, I will expect to see Excel. But aside that, Word, it's not a skill. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
And this intermediate knowledge in Power BI, don't put intermediate knowledge. Just put Power BI. It's okay. When we
Okay.
get to in the interview, we will decide if you have intermediate knowledge or your knowledge is advanced. What makes you think you are not advanced?
Yeah, true.
I love the fact that this person is using action words. Conducted, analyzed, decomposed, facilitated, developed. Very good. So you have to know the action words in your own area of specialty. There are action words for each area. For example, as a software developer, I want to be seeing stuff like debug. Do you understand? I want to be seeing words like, I can't remember again, it's been a long time.
You can talk from your field.
Exactly. You are an analyst. I want to be seeing words like analyzed. I want to be seeing key terms. You can't just be ordinary. You can't be speaking. Remember, you are speaking to professionals.
Mhm.
So you can't write your CV as if you are talking to your 5-year-old child. You are talking to somebody who is a professional in this field. And remember, for recruiters, we don't really know this field. And one secret about recruiters is this: most times we don't even understand your job role. We don't. You are the boss, but we just want to make you feel like, hey, I know what you are doing. In the real sense, I don't know what you are doing. But what I just need at the recruiter's stage is for you to show me the confidence that you
Yeah.
can do this job and you have idea of this role. When you get to the hiring manager, then
Their
it's the
business.
job of the hiring manager to test your technical skill. That is why you will see a recruiter will not ask you, most times, will not ask you technical
Technical
questions.
questions.
But you need to be able to convince the recruiter before you can move to the hiring manager.
True. Okay, so let's just scroll through to see. So
Okay, see, pause. Look at this person.
okay.
Executive Assistant NYSC. Contract intern. What role are we looking for?
I wish some of the people that submitted this thing were here to really like, I don't know.
Do you understand?
Mhm.
I think scroll up. I think we can see the role the person is looking. Okay, wait. Organized and dedicated strategy and performance management analysis. Hmm. I think this person is looking for maybe HR.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. If I'm right, I'm not very sure. So, can you scroll down now? And there is no crime in changing your job title to suit what you are looking for. For example, when you are back in your home country, you were called um, employee engagement manager. But now in Germany, you've read the job description, it aligns with what you've done in the past. But because if you write employee engagement manager, remember you are dealing with the white people. Let me put it, you are dealing with them, and two, English is not their first language. They may not understand that, okay, an employee engagement manager is the same as HR reporting specialist. Let me put it that way. So you have to leave those big titles, remove them. Use titles that are common. For example, this person wrote contract intern. I've never seen any job in the market called contract intern. But if I read this CV now, I can bring out a job title that will suit the market for this particular experience. Do you understand? So use a more acceptable job title for your previous role. Executive assistant. From what you are saying, executive assistant, what are you looking for? If you are not looking for an executive assistant role, I will not use that job title.
Probably
So
this
these are
person is in
things,
HR. So let's assume
yeah.
this person is in HR.
Let me assume this person
Yeah,
is in
let's assume
HR.
person is HR. So give your advice with that in mind.
So now, if this person is in HR, I can say, for this contract intern, I can say HR admin, internship, then manage dispatch correspondence between contractors and the company. Then I will now say manage contracts between the company and new hires, not contractors again. And one good thing about Germany is this: nobody is going to do background checkup. Unlike in US, forget it. US, we want to get to the root of everything you've written. But one good thing about German market, nobody is doing background check. Anything you write, so far you can defend it. You have that confidence to defend it. You are good. Just prepare yourself.
Okay. So we have a question here, Tayo. I don't
Okay,
know whether I should bring it up now. So the
bring
person is
it up.
saying that you should distinguish between the requirements of a recruiter
Mhm.
and a hiring manager.
Okay, the requirement of a recruiter and hiring manager. Most times, okay, this is how the recruiting or hiring process starts. The position is open. The hiring manager have a meeting with the recruiter and says, "Hey, this is who I'm looking for. These are the technical skills I'm looking for in this person. This is the salary I'm willing to offer for this role. Find me, find me a good hire for this position." So when the recruiter comes to you now, so when you submit your CV to the recruiter reviews your CV, and if he thinks your CV is aligns with what the hiring manager is looking for based on their previous discussion, then the recruiter will give you a call. And most times during the call, what they want to know is they want to most times what recruiters are checking for is your visa status. Do you have what's it called? Do you have the right permission to work? What is your salary expectation? Then they can ask you, do you have skills? Do you have the skills for this position? They will just do the background check for this role. Then some recruiters can ask you about, oh, tell me a time, tell me why do you want this position? Well, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? And when they're asking you, tell me a little bit about yourself, the recruiter is expecting you to say your previous job experience in alignment with this role. So, and that will make the recruiter more interested in you, so he or she can move you to the next level. So, what the recruiter is just checking at the first call is mostly alignment with the role. Does, from what I've read in your CV, does it align with what you are telling me now on the call? The salary expectation, does it align with our budget? If it's an on-site role, are you willing to come on site for this role? And then I also want to know, what is your motivation? What motivates you to join this company? Why do you want to join us? So these are the things. It's just few times you will see recruiters asking you technical questions,
So
because
more
it's
or less,
not,
the hiring managers are the ones that ask
yes.
technical questions.
So now, if you are able to scale through the recruiter stage, now the hiring manager is the highest determining factor of any hiring stage. If your hiring manager loves you, gets feels you are very good for this job, any other person you meet again is just double checking what the hiring manager has done.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Let's move on to the next, because we're also going to look at LinkedIn. So let's just
Okay.
do one more and then we'll move on.
This CV, I think this person needs to go back to the drawing board and rewrite,
Okay.
because this what I'm seeing now is use
What is
beautiful soup.
trending?
Number one, this education, bring it down.
Okay.
Your work experience should come first. And the experience is too short for me. I'm not seeing anything here. Migrating data to multiple sources using SCIS. What did you achieve? Do you understand? I think Cynthia will be able to talk more on this, because this is her field. What did you achieve? Develop reports and visualization with Power BI. I'm not seeing anything in that.
Yeah, I think I see what you're actually talking about here. So, for example, the second one specifically, develop reports and visualization with BI, could probably relate it to an actual scenario, like run A/B
Mhm.
tests and build reports to show difference in this and
Yeah,
this, and
trends.
then state that instead of just say reports and visualizations, because that is very broad. That's actually quite broad.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And
There's
then
something I also noticed.
I
Let me
see
point out
something
to you.
again. It said use beautiful soup for web scraping for data. I'm not sure. I don't want to be 100. I'm not sure if beautiful soup is a popular software, because this is the first time I'm seeing this software. So I believe maybe it's one of those software. If you are interested in web scraping, go on LinkedIn, go and find the most demanded web scraping tool, learn it, and now replace it with this, that I have used it. Because now when they ask you questions, you can defend it. But don't,
Sis-
anything you cannot defend, please don't put it on your CV. It will put you in trouble.
Temita, there's one thing I noticed with this CV. So this is data
Okay.
analyst, this is sales and customer, this is chemistry teacher. Do you think
This
it's very
is,
scattered?
yeah, this is what I was talking about. I will not
Okay.
call this CV. I won't. For a data analytics role, no. This is a no. Because I can see from 2016, can you scroll up to 2023? That's over 10 years. You don't have a particular career path.
Pathway.
I can see customer representative. I can see teacher. So how do you want me to call you for a data analytics role, even for internship? So for me, what I will do now is here where I did, okay, babe, can you scroll down a little bit? Where I was a customer representative, blah, blah, blah. I can say sales stroke customer analyst. Take away the representative. Now, because from what I'm seeing in the CV, you are trying to portray yourself as an analyst, but the job title is, we deny you this role. Because a German, they know what customer representative is. Then I will tell you no. Then this chemistry teacher, I'll take it off. Because a chemistry teacher has nothing to do with this. Only if you can now say, okay, I'm looking for a data analytics role. I can say mathematics, or I can say, okay, chemistry slash data analyst. You just have to showcase that transferable skills. So that means while I was serving, I was teaching chemistry, and I was also responsible for the data of maybe the school.
Yeah.
I supported
Yeah,
them
maybe in
in,
this.
yes. So
Yeah,
you can't just
yeah,
write
maybe in this
chemistry
case,
teacher.
especially. Yeah, in this case specifically with chemistry, I think that's actually a really good one where you can pull in some data analyst points actually.
Yes.
By you can say something like uh, uh, managed, so basically recorded and measured whatever
Mhm.
chemistry things you do in the laboratory, and
Exactly.
say and say that you looked for trends within this data
Yes.
to whether it was more acidic or more alkaline. I mean, I'm not really good on
Yeah.
chemistry, but basically
Because
put it more in a in a direction where it's like, okay, I looked at data points, I connected the
mhm.
data points, and I came to a conclusion. So then it's
Exactly.
not just like you said, it's not just chemistry teacher. I say chemistry teacher and lab support. I mean, you can kind of expand it a little bit, to make it
Yeah.
relevant to the role. Yes.
And Cynthia, one nice thing about this, as small as this chemistry may look like, about a pharmaceutical company
Yeah.
may be interested in you
Yeah.
because of your knowledge of chemistry.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say don't take up the chemistry,
Mm.
but just add to that. You can write chemistry teacher and data analyst. So now it will not be like, then you now expatiate. I thought, for me, I will put chemistry, taught chemistry to high school students, blah, 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 as the last. But you see that data analyst part of the job, that is where I will scream for this particular role. So if a biomedical company sees, oh, she has knowledge of chemistry and
Okay.
she is very good at data analytics, then she will be the perfect person. Because even in data analytics, we still want somebody with business knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's be fast. So for the page, like, this
And you
is,
see, IT
it should move
knowledge
up.
should move up.
Yeah.
And please, this organization skills is a waste of space. Anybody can write this. I will not call you because you've written you're a fast learner. It's when I'm speaking with you, I will decide if you are actually a fast learner or not.
Okay. So, Temitayo, thank you. We are done with the CV because this is we just did only three and we still have more, and this is just six I put here, thinking that we can even try six from the 23 we got, but it's okay.
Mhm.
At least I believe that those online have been able to pick one or two things to really understand. I would really appreciate if you could write in the comment section to let me know that you're understanding what we are going on, and don't forget to drop a question if you have. We'll answer them at the end. So now let's go to LinkedIn, and
Okay.
I just picked a few too from LinkedIn. So
Okay.
I looked at them. I know you haven't seen them, but I looked at them and they are really good. So I don't know what you're gonna, so even if it's
Okay.
good, just give your general advice on a good and bad LinkedIn profile.
Okay, so for me, I think I will want to talk more from my experience as a talent sourcer about LinkedIn. You see this LinkedIn, don't joke with it.
How many people did you bring from Nigeria when you were
I
in
brought
Talented?
3. I brought 3 from Nigeria. And these are people, I don't know them. I just source them online. So the LinkedIn you use, we as candidates, the LinkedIn you use is different from the LinkedIn a recruiter uses. If you notice, when you go on your views, you will see um, someone with LinkedIn recruiter viewed your page. That is a recruiter viewing your page. So, and most when we want to source, when a recruiter wants to source for a candidate on your CV, what do? We put keywords. We say, for example, the hiring manager says, I want a data analyst. The person must have the knowledge of Python, SQL, Excel, and let's say another skill. Those 4, they are very key. I will put them in my search. So LinkedIn now, we now bring then I will now put all possible job titles. Remember, the hiring manager said data analyst. So now I will now start trying. Okay, I don't just want to put myself in the box of just data analyst. What are the other related job titles these people with this set of skills can call themselves? Maybe the person can say data manager. So I will tell LinkedIn, give me profiles of people with job titles, data analyst, data manager, or maybe there's a particular area of business we are looking for. Maybe we are looking for product data analyst. Then I'll put it again, or product data analyst. So LinkedIn will now, just the way you do your Google search, the LinkedIn recruiter will now search for people with all these people who have these keywords in their CV and bring them to me. Now I will now, just the way I'm reviewing your CV. So the way you put so much effort on your paper CV. You have to, because this is your online CV.
Yeah.
This is what the recruiter, if you want recruiters to always reach out to you, this is what they see first before they see your paper CV. So if this is not attractive, especially for those that are abroad, if this is not attractive, then you will not get to the stage of me requesting for your paper CV. So the first thing you need to do is this banner, this where you have the product manager, product owner, business. This is good. Put title, use a job title that you know that it's easy for a recruiter to find you. For example, this person, I know this person is looking for a product related role. So if I search for product manager, I'll find this person. If I search for product owner, I will find this person. Then I'm passionate about. Then here, just the way you do your summary, your career summary, that is what about is. That is what about is on LinkedIn. You state your achievements in summary. What is your achievement on this role in summary? Put it there as your about. Then let's scroll down. Okay. Can I see? Let me see more.
Wow. Nice.
Looking for this person, I mean, did well. What I would just say is put more keywords, because product manager looking for an evaluating market, why consider it, put more keywords, because looking for, it doesn't sound professional. Do you understand what I mean? There should be a keyword for a product manager for looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
Then what are the skills you used on each role? I think LinkedIn has that capability
Yeah,
to
it
do.
helps you to put that.
Yes. So we want to see what skills did you acquire, or what skill did you use in each role. And please, I like what this person did. Be detailed in your on your LinkedIn page. Don't just write one line or two lines and you are thinking, oh, this person, they will find me. When they find me, then I'll send my detailed CV. If this is not detailed, you will not request for your paper CV. Okay, scroll
Okay,
down.
so
And
Uh,
then another important thing you need to do on LinkedIn is professional picture. When I mean professional picture, you don't need to, I'm not saying you should go to, for example, this is okay. Yes. You can't, this is okay. It's okay. So a professional picture we do. And then another thing is, if you are looking for a job, since you are looking for a job, it's okay, because another, I remember another way we search for candidates is we use the open to work.
mm. But you can open to see it could be in a company, so you don't put open to work that is
No,
visible.
no, no,
So you
don't
have
use
the
the
option
visible
of
one.
open to work to recruiters.
Yes, use that. Even as a professional, I always tell professionals, as a professional, you should be open to opportunities every time. So for me, my open to work is I'm always available for new opportunities. If you have an opportunity and it suits me, I'm open. So everybody should use the open to work. So don't just make it visible. You don't need, because
So
the mere fact
because
you
of
have a green does not mean that a recruiter will call you.
yeah, true.
Yeah. So
So I was hoping on we looking at more than one LinkedIn CV LinkedIn, but unfortunately we are running out of time. So what we will do now is there are two questions,
okay.
and I'm gonna put them on the screen. So one of them says, if a candidate takes up a part-time job in Germany while
Mhm.
job hunting, that is not related to the job role, is it advisable to add it in the CV? No, I'm not a recruiter and I can answer that.
No.
No.
What I will just say is, while you take that part-time role, what are you doing? What are you doing for your desired role? So you have to keep developing yourself in that your desire. For example, now you can't work in Lager and write you
What is
are
lager?
okay, sorry. You can't work in the warehouse and write you were a data analyst in the warehouse. No. Because remember, this is Germany. But any experience you are bringing from the other side of the world, I can bet it with you. We are not doing background check. But even Germany, I'm not sure. But from my experience, nobody is ready to start going to another company to say, "Is it true Tayo did this?" No. But because remember, these are it's possible for. I will not advise that. But you see the experience you are bringing from home.
Back.
Mm, you can work on it.
Okay, so let's just answer this last question and then we go to interviews. Please, Temita, let's try and rush the interviews. And then
Okay.
during the interviews, we can, I and Cynthia can share our own experience on how
Yeah.
interviews went for us. So, this is one more question that is here. I have heard that recruiters have a default setting that most of them do not turn off. This setting denies applicants of easy apply who aren't in the country. Can you confirm this? So, like,
Okay.
do you have a filter to, yeah,
Okay. So
go
for
ahead.
me, I think luckily before I currently I'm working as an HRIS admin. So that means I am also behind the screen. I am behind the scene aside from having experience being on the front line. There is no automated machine in HR, from my experience with systems, that has been set that as soon as this CV comes, reject. A recruiter is reviewing the CV. If I see that your CV doesn't match what I'm looking for, then we call it a pipeline. So when a candidate applies for a job, it moves to um application stage. Then the recruiter will now move you from application stage to review stage. So at review stage, the recruiter reviews your CV. That's why I said, why you think there is an automated machine doing this is because the recruiter has less than 1 minute or 2 minutes reviewing your CV. So as soon as I look at your CV within 2 minutes, I move you to reject.
Wow.
So in reject stage now, that is when you get that automated message. it's not as if the recruiter did not look at your email, did not read your CV. The recruiter actually read the CV. But the system has been designed that as soon as you move a candidate from um, review stage to rejected stage, send this candidate an automated message. Because a recruiter cannot start creating, and some, like my own current company, the way we designed our system is because we don't want you to feel like we didn't review your CV. So anytime we move you from review stage to rejection, we've configured the system, send this message 2 days after. So if you apply now and I review your CV now, imagine, and the next 10 minutes you get a rejection email. How do you feel? You say, oh, the recruiter didn't, they just sent me an automated message.
We hate
But
you guys. So even if the message comes 2 days after, we still hate you guys.
okay, so sorry about that. So for me, there is no automated, there is a recruiter is actually reviewing, that is their job. A recruiter is actually reviewing the CV. No, the system was not configured to just um screen out people based on location or based on, no. The
But you
only
guys have like
thing,
a filter. So if you don't
yes,
want people in a
yes, there are
particular
some
country, you don't
okay, there are some filters we also add in our job description. If you notice, when you're applying for, so especially just like what the person said, easy apply. There are some questions we'll ask you. Do you have the right what's it called, work permit for this role? Yes or no? If you say no, automatic rejection.
Okay.
But if you make it to, if for example, all the questions, all the required question in the job application, if your questions are right, then you make it to the review stage, a recruiter will read your CV. But if you have stated, I don't have the right work permit for this role, then automatic rejection.
Protection.
Or maybe they say, are you present in Australia for this role? And they want somebody who will work on site, and you say no, it's
Mm,
automatic rejection.
protection.
But
Okay.
if you make it to the review stage, it's not automatic. Somebody read your CV.
Okay, so now we have submitted our CV and we have a good LinkedIn, and now they have called us. It's time to go for interview. So, Timotaya, please, can we just make this interview stage short? Till tomorrow, I still struggle with interviews. I shake when I go for interviews, and I stayed with you for so many years, and I saw how you go for interviews and you're always so smooth. I don't know how you do it. But in this stage, talk to us about still the do's and don'ts
Mhm.
of interview, how to prep for interview, the things to do, the things not to say. And yeah, but please make it short, okay? Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll try my best. So for me, as soon as you receive a call from a recruiter that, hey, I'm interested in you, I want to talk to you, I can tell you 50% of the work is done. How? For a recruiter to review your CV and call you, you stand a chance of getting that job. The rest is now left for you and the hiring manager and other factors. So now the advice is you have to do your own part now as the candidate. As soon as I receive a call, remember I have applied to a lot of jobs, so I don't even know which of the companies that is calling me. So as soon as I get one, you have to go back to that company's website, go and read about them. I would not want to talk to a candidate and the candidate is now asking me, what do you do? That means you've not done your own assignment. You should be telling me what I do. It shows me you are interested in my company. You are not just interested in a paycheck from my company. So first thing you need to do is you have to make your research about the company. Then you have to go back to the job post. You have to go back to that job post to go and read again the job description. Because with this job description now, it will help you to put your thoughts together. Because now you know what is important to this particular company from their job. For example, maybe in the job post you saw the knowledge of Python is strongly preferred. You now go to an interview, you're now telling me I used Java for 8 years, but I just started learning Python. Yes, you are a data analyst, you are good. But at this point, Java is not important to me as a recruiter. So you have to go back to the job description, read it, and know what is important to for that position. That doesn't mean it is important for another position. So after reading the job description, I've also read about the company. I would say no matter how easy or how simple you think the company will be, please prepare. What I do for myself is I'll take a book. I'm talking from a candidate's perspective, and I'm also talking from a recruiter's perspective. I'll take a book, ask myself possible questions. For example, you always get the question, tell me about yourself. That when they ask you, tell me about yourself, this question, what I'm expecting from you as a recruiter is, tell me about yourself in relation to this role. I'm not interested in what you did 10 years ago as a barista in Starbucks. I'm interested in, for example, I'm a data analyst, or I started my career as a data analyst back in Nigeria, and there I worked as this, I used this software, this was what I was able to achieve. That is about yourself. I'm not interested in where you grew up. I'm not interested in your religion. I'm not interested in your marital status. No, leave that for when you become colleagues. You can start discussing that. But for now, this is what is important. So when they ask you a question about tell me about yourself, that is your time. That is your
Okay.
time to shine. That is your time to show who you are, showcase yourself. Another thing is be bold, be confident. You are the boss. You are, especially with recruiters. Most times we don't, especially technical roles. The hiring manager has just given us a paper. This is what I want. But if you come there and you present yourself as a professional with confidence, I tell you, you move to the hiring manager stage. And what happens at the hiring manager stage, it's no longer the recruiter's business, because you don't have a say at that point. So work on this question. Tell me about yourself, because that is your first impression. Work on that question. Then number two is work on, why do you want to work with us? That question is very important. And when they ask you, why do you want to work with us? For me, pick answers from their website. I want to work with you because I saw on your website that you are such an innovative company. I read that about 2 years ago you developed this. So, well, this person actually read about us. You know about us. Unlike, why do you want to work with us? I've been reading so much about your company, and I think your company is good. No, or because I want to transition. These are things people, you are laughing. These are things people say in interviews. Or why do you want to work with us? I want to transition into data analytics. How does that answer help me or my company? So that's another question you need to work on. Why do you want to work with us? Then you need to work on scenario questions. We call them STAR. These questions, we are trying to know, for example, you say you are a data analyst or you have experience in this role. Can you tell me a time you solved a problem using Microsoft Excel to achieve this? Something like that. What I'm expecting you to do at this point is you tell me, we call it STAR, STAR. STAR means, S means what was the scenario, what was the problem? T means star. What did you do? Then A, I think A is action. Action
Yeah.
was okay. What was the task? Is T. Then A is the action. Then R is the result. I want to hear what the problem was. What were the actions you took? And how did you solve it? So this is where your soft skills comes up. That is where I know, this person, from what this person has said, she's actually a fast learner. That is when I know, this person can work under pressure. That is when I know this person has organization skills. You don't need to put that in your CV. But from my discussion with you, I will know this. So you need to work on your scenario-based question. So what I will do is next question somebody will ask me is, how do I know the kind of questions they can ask me? Internet is free. There's nothing new under the sun again. You have an interview for data analyst, go on YouTube, watch possible questions for this role. And there's no how you practice, like, let's say 10 to 15 questions. They may not ask you exact question, but they will ask you something similar to it. And because you have prepared, you will know what to say. And then when they ask you finally, where do you see yourself? Another question is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or 10 years? Please tell me you see yourself working with me. I don't want to hear about you planning to start a business in the next 5 years. I will not employ you, because every employer is looking for somebody who will stay on in the long term, right?
People say this as an answer. Like, I'm going to start my business and then
Like, people will be like, oh, I see myself owning a company in the next 5 years. I see myself becoming a manager in the next 5 years. You say, for example, you are telling the hiring manager, I see myself becoming a manager. That means you want to come and take my job, right? It's okay.
Okay, so let's start rounding off with the
And
interview.
finally, always ask questions at the end of interviews. When they ask you, do you have questions? Don't say no. Ask questions. Ask questions that are related to the job. For example, you can always ask, what do you expect from me? What do you expect me to achieve in this role within 30 days or 60 days of joining your company? That shows that I'm already excited to join you, than for you to say, I don't have any question. Or can you tell me the day-to-day activities of somebody on this role? So those are the kind of questions you can ask, and you will find answers to most of these questions on the internet.
Okay, Temitayo, thank you very much. So this is just
You're
the like
welcome.
to so just our experience generally, and I would go first. So I remember when I was looking for internship role, a lot of people said, "Oh, I shouldn't take free internship. Oh, I shouldn't take free internship, blah 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 blah." But everybody, I think at the end of the day, everybody can make their choice. So
Yeah.
I had learned, yes, I studied computer science and mathematics in Nigeria, but I did not have the confidence. So I wanted to build my confidence, and that was why I decided to go for free internships. And I honestly did not regret it, because the first free internship I did, I learned administrative role, because it was more of okay, I learned how to use tools like Jira, Slack. I know Slack. I don't know why people call Slack a tool that people shouldn't have. But anyway, I used Jira, I used Trello, and just some very, very few softwares. I learned how to use it from them, and that helped me. I think I was with them for 3 months, and then I moved to the next role, which I stayed for just 3 weeks. And it was still a free internship. I didn't have a problem with that. So I stayed with them for 3 weeks, and I learned how to do how to use or rather not learn from scratch, because I knew it already in Nigeria, and I also did it in school. But we got introduced to WordPress, and I was so um when I was in school, I liked it. I loved it. I remember I told everybody, bring your assignment, I'll do it for you, because I was so excited about it. And I worked with these boys for 3 weeks. They were Anyway, I worked with them for 3 weeks. But the good thing was, then Tim Tayo was a HR, and she was my shining angel. And her company was looking for people, and she's like, "Yeah, we have somebody." And it was that skill that I just got 3 weeks before then was what made the hiring manager say, "I want this girl. Bring
Yeah.
this girl to me." So you can never tell where it's gonna come from. Do you get? So just, if you see free, fine, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, let me put it here. I never really worked internship in Nigeria, but in Germany, my brother, my sister, internship role is like, yeah, junior. In fact, internship role in Germany is junior
Yes.
level.
It's junior
Don't
level.
deceive yourself that you will carry plates or you will go and photocopy. It's a lie. You
exactly.
you work, you are going to work.
Mm.
it go shock you. Like
Yeah,
you would work so hard like you're a full-time junior staff. And that's
exactly.
why I always tell people, like, if you've already done internship in Germany, don't say it's internship when you're leaving Germany, when you're applying for another country.
That's
Just put
what
it
I
as a
did.
full-time job.
My
Because
internship roles, I wrote full time.
crazy, it's crazy. So it was very nice that I did it because it opened doors for me. 4 years later, I'm very well into the role and I'm really enjoying it. It's something I've built on top. So if you, I don't know if we have students here or students who are going to listen to it later, but if you are studying in Germany, I would encourage you to try free internship. It's your choice. But me, I did it and it worked for me. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, when I say I think you should also talk about power of referral.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You will talk about it when it's your turn. But yeah, okay, so
Okay.
you referred me, so I can talk about it.
Yeah.
So in Germany, they have this it's not only in Germany, but it's very common, but
Mhm.
referral. So referral works a lot in Germany,
Yeah,
and actually some companies pay you for referral. So if I refer
exactly.
someone who is in IT and the person stays for 6 months, I'm gonna get
Mhm.
3,000 euros. So yeah. Anyway, so just you cannot just send me a message on LinkedIn and tell me to refer you in my company. It's not going to work.
Mhm.
So we have to have that connection. And I always preach about one thing. I always talk about community, community, community. Blend with people, mix with people so that they will be able to refer you in their company because it's a two-way street. They are going to benefit from it because their company is going to pay them later, and you are going to benefit from it because you're going to be in the company.
Mhm.
So mix. There are so many places you can meet people. Try as much as possible to meet. I know they used to tell us, that makes it um people from your home country, but yeah, I understand. But make sure you mix with people. Do not isolate yourself because referral works and it could just work for you. Okay.
Exactly.
So Cynthia, you can talk about your experience.
That's true. Yeah, referrals work for sure. Referrals work. You always, it's always nice to know somebody that knows somebody, and also that can give you some more direction in what you're doing. In my case, actually, just going back quickly to the internships and basically the fact that an internship is a job, a full-time job. It is a full-time job. My first job was as a working student data analyst, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm gonna be learning. But they threw me in from the first day. Oh, what's your idea about this? They will ask you questions. You are working as an employee. It's not you're not there to grab coffee. You're there to work. So it really is worth it to, especially in the beginning once you arrive, or because I know now there are different visas where you can even arrive without an offer. Just look for a free internship or a lowly paid internship too. That's also an option. I mean, I have a friend who's actually doing an internship right now where she's not getting a lot of money, but she's getting really good experience. And it's really important to take that. For me, with the job applications and with the interviews, a lot of things that Temitayo has said are actually very relevant, because I remember one specific incident where I got called for an interview because I had put in Angular. Angular, I think, is a programming language, if I'm not mistaken. I did not know anything about Angular, and I wrote Angular there. And I did not do my research. Of course, I did not get the job because the man started asking me questions. Because I think this was the hiring manager I was talking to. This was not the recruiter, so I could not BS my way because I knew nothing about Angular. I don't know why I put Angular on my CV. So if you are going to write something down, make sure you can back it up. Don't be like me.
Mhm.
Make sure you can back it up. Yeah, and
Cynthia, so
later
someone
when
has
I
a
would write,
question. Someone has a question. Sorry to
yes,
cut
yes,
you because it's your
go ahead.
area.
Yeah.
So the person says, can one get a full-time practicing role on student visa? So Cynthia, Actually, while we were
Yes,
studying from nowhere, I just got a call. Oh, I've
yes,
gotten full time. I'm changing. And I'm like, I hate
yes.
you right now. So
Yeah.
anyway, Cynthia is the best person to answer the call. I hope the person is still on live anyway. So
Mhm.
Cynthia was a student when she got a full-time job and
Yes,
she abandoned it and told us choose
yes,
and moved to
yes,
a full-time role. So yeah.
Yeah, I
yes.
think for me
And
too, when I say I got
Oh yeah.
my first,
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
first job.
True,
as a
true.
as a student, I think that's really important to state. Yeah, you don't have to, if you found a job, because for me, my goal was that I wanted a full-time job, right? I
Mm.
wasn't really trying to get a second. I was pursuing a second bachelor's degree. I already had a bachelor's degree, and I think a lot of people applying for full-time jobs from Nigeria already would have completed their first degree, some even the second. And so I didn't see the need to complete the degree. It was more important that I got a job. So, as in Germany, if you're on a student visa and you already have a bachelor's degree, you can switch to a
Yeah.
full time job. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, last year they changed it where you don't even have to have a degree in certain
Degree.
fields. So if you're in,
Mm.
yeah, if you're in IT, for example, and you have the experience, because a lot of people are self taught
Yeah.
in the field of IT with all the resources online. If you can prove to the hiring manager that, I'm good, I know what I'm doing, even if you don't have a bachelor's degree, even if you've just taken some classes, you could still switch your student visa to a working visa. That's a new
Like
rule.
the
The
thing
to
Temita is always saying that you should
Yeah.
put projects. So put projects, add projects to your CV, add projects to your CV.
Yeah, I think in my
Yes.
own case, I
Yes.
got okay. Are you done, Cynthia? Are you done? Okay. So in my own case, I got my first full-time job while I was still a student. And what motivated me was when I came and said, hey, somebody got a full-time job as a student. I said, eh. So it's possible for somebody to get a full-time job as a student. And luckily, I had done an internship. So my internship knowledge helped me to get my full-time job. So I started applying and I got the job. And I told them I only have my um thesis left and I'm available full time to work with you. And that was how I got my full-time job while I was a student. So it's very possible to get your full-time job as a student.
Okay, so we have two different examples here. So Temitaya was already through, it was just thesis, and Cynthia was just in second year. So you doesn't matter the level where you are, you
Yeah.
can change.
Yeah.
Okay, so Temitaya, do you have anything else to add?
I think I don't have any at this point.
You ladies have been so wonderful. Thank you very much. Anyway, this is my opportunity to add it here that feel free to reach out to any of the ladies. Temi Tayo does one-on-one and Cynthia is in data and she's a very good mentor to ladies who are in that line. So feel free to reach them out on LinkedIn. And yeah, Cynthia, what do you have to say?
I just wanted to say, I mean, because we have talked about, ways to adjust your CV and resume and all of that. But even if you get rejected, just keep applying. Just keep
Yeah.
Yeah,
applying. Because it's
yeah,
not, you won't, I mean, unless, even no matter how smart you are, even then, you're not going to get the job in the first application. Even the
Yeah.
Germans that speak perfect German, perfect English, graduated, they don't get a job in the first application. You have to keep applying. Just keep applying.
Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
I'd say. All you need is one yes.
Yes. And another thing is the reason for the rejection, sometimes it's not because you are not good. From my experience, maybe we already have 5 people in the final stage or very close to hiring, and you just apply for the role. Your CV
Mm.
may be very good. But at that point, we just have to reject it because we are close to rounding up this
Oh
process.
wow.
So sometimes the rejection may come not because your CV was not good. So not all rejections are actually rejection. It's just
Yeah.
that you were a late comer for this role. So my last advice is always, as soon as the road drops, you see that job post, apply immediately. For me, when I want to start my application, I start from the last 24 hours. Don't, because if you apply for a role that has been posted a month ago, there is high chances that they are already in the end of the process.
Yeah.
But last 24 hours, you'll be among the first set of people the recruiter will review the CV. Because sometimes the hiring manager may say, oh, from the CV you sent to me, I love these 3 people and I've spoken with them let's wait. Let me finish with these three people before I speak with any other person.
Okay, so when we see an advert that is more than 1 month or let's say 3 weeks, we should not apply.
Apply, because there are sometimes too, maybe for that role we've received nonsense CVs, and after a month your CV may be the golden fish we have been
Okay.
waiting for. But what
Okay.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to say is start from the last 24 hours.
Okay.
exactly. Putting your energy on the last, just focus when you're searching for jobs, filter to last 24 hours last week, apply for those
Exactly.
first, then you can go to the 3 weeks later.
Mhm.
All right.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, ladies. I am so grateful for this time. Really, I am grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Tayo, for spitting out your knowledge to all of us. We really
You're
do appreciate.
welcome.
Cynthia, thank you for always being there for us and also spitting out your experience. We do appreciate. And thank you, everyone, for showing. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, love. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here too.
All right. Bye for now.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.